welcome or welcome back. If you've been following my journey, you heard that I was surprised to learn about my burnout. In today's video, I want to talk about what I think ultimately led to my burnout. I want to share my story so if you're going through something similar, you'll feel less alone, or if you think you may be reaching there, how to step back and hopefully prevent yourself from burning out. The first thing that I want to talk about is loneliness. I've been feeling really alone. As someone in my early 30s, I didn't realize that in a room full of people that I could feel so alone. With everyone having their own routines now, we're not going to the same school, everyone's growing up, getting married, buying homes, moving away, having families, babies. It could feel very isolating, and I think that was kind of the pivotal moment of my burnout journey because I just didn't know what to do. I felt like I didn't really have anyone to talk to. This is not a surprise. As people get older, they realize that if you spend at least 1 or 2 times a year with a friend, that's actually a good friendship. It didn't hit me until it was too late, and so learn from me and reach out to friends and family members if that's something that you're dealing with. I know it's sometimes hard to reach out and be vulnerable, but after I voiced my loneliness to one of my best friends, they put more effort in reaching out. And I actually think I was seeking community at work, and when I realized that that wasn't probably the best place to seek community, I was really disappointed. Moving on to the second reason, I moved into a neighborhood and we bought a new home. It was a year-long ordeal, and when it finally happened, I thought, I would be really happy. But the cons of moving away from the neighborhood that I was living in for many, many years was that I no longer had the community that I built and the connections I had. It was actually more of an effort to reach out now. And in my old home, I lived in an apartment unit where we had some great relationships with front desk folks who also really loved our dog. So I have great conversations. I also had a great community of dog parents in the neighborhood, and we would hang out and chat. And while it was not the, conversations you have with your best friends, it was still something that I really looked forward to. And I didn't realize until I moved away that I was lacking it. Rather than having a network of folks where I felt like I belonged and I could be part of, now I felt super alone. So if you do have a big life change, such as moving into a neighborhood, buying a new home, just be prepared of the adjustment period that comes with it. I certainly was not, and I lost a lot of my routines that I have. I had some places I frequented quite frequently, but now because I wasn't in the neighborhood, I didn't do those things. Outdoor yoga was something I really enjoyed, and it was now a hike to get there. It was just really hard, and because I used to live very close to work, I would walk home, and then now I didn't do that, and that brings me to the third reason, which was I was not prioritizing my physical health. And prior to moving and even looking for the house, I did have a more active schedule. So I mentioned that I did walk home from work, which gave me a great exercise to release those endorphins and relieve my stress. I also signed up for races, which is a way to motivate myself to exercise and go to the gym. I really stopped doing that when we moved, and I no longer really had a routine. So prioritizing my physical health along with my mental health is really important. I think when I was dealing with a lot of the stress at work, I probably dealt with it better because I was able to release my stress in a different way. But because of the life event of, moving into a new neighborhood, buying a home, all that stress compounded, and I was not exercising on a regular basis anymore. So it's quite stressful. The fourth thing that contributed to my burnout is perfectionism and my fear of failure. I learned about this not recently, but I kind of knew all along that I am a perfectionist. I've learned through therapy that I'm a perfectionist because that was my coping mechanism of how I was raised and I grew up. Coming from a low-income household and my parents don't speak English, I felt the need and the desire to make a difference in my life. And through my experiences, I realized that I want to be the very best, which has pros and cons, but because I was going through all these life changes and also my work and job got really stressful, it did not work in my favor. I'm working through done is better than perfect, which is why I put the courage out there to release my first YouTube video. I've always wanted to document different things and kind of share my experiences with the world, because I think that if even one person hears my video and they feel less alone, then I feel like I've made a difference. And that's something that I really am passionate about, just making a difference and helping others not feel like they're by themselves. Back to that point of perfectionism and the fear of failure. I'm working through this, and this is why I'm trying to be consistent with YouTube. And although it is scary, it is hard, and I'm not sure if a lot of people are watching my videos, I'm trying my best, and that's something that I'm working through personally. So again, if you are someone struggling with perfectionism or failing, just know that the hardest part is starting. And I just want you to know that you're not alone. And if you're watching this video, this is a sign out there that if there's something that you want to get started and you haven't, do it. You might not be the best at first, but with repetitions and keep working at it, you'll get there and you'll work towards learning and getting better. So the fifth reason that I think contributed to my burnout is the perfect storm at my job. I like to joke with some friends and family that I have the best luck with jobs. So before joining this job, I knew that it was a very stable company and it was a great work-life balance. But for some reason, this past year, year and a half, and 2 years, it's been a challenge because due to the economy, I have people who have worked at my company for the past 20, 30 years let me know that they've never dealt with a hiring freeze and pause before. And because of this pause, it's really changed the processes and culture of the company. In the past, they did not have kind of holds on positions. I mean, things were probably delayed because of approvals and whatnot, but this is actually the first year that the company's decided to take a more slow approach in hiring. On top of that, my manager is also very inexperienced. So when I did reach out to express what I'm going through and some of the thoughts I had with my workload, they really weren't proactive or even reactive. Really had to do this by myself. And I think at a certain point, I was just so exhausted from all the workload I had and also speaking up and feeling like I wasn't heard. And that really ultimately made me feel so exhausted and depressed because I'm a really vocal person and I actually tell people that they need to advocate for themselves. But then at a certain point, even the most loud person in the room is going to be quiet if nothing happens, and that really was what happened. It is fair to say that the company and your managers have the accountability to help you make the workplace a better place. It does not help that the company will not change anything, because if you put someone in a situation where they have constantly stressed and there's no help or support, it's not gonna get better. So if you're in this situation where you're wondering, what can you do? I would to really reflect on, is there something that is within your control? Something that I'm working through right now is whether or not I'm able to handle it mentally and emotionally. And if the same things happen over and over, is that something that I can deal with? I know it's really complicated and there's no answer for everybody because everyone's their own individual. What we can control is ourselves and not other people's. Don't feel like you have no choice, because the one thing that resonated with me is that inaction is a choice. So if you choose not to do anything, that's also a choice, and that might work best for you. But if you do choose to change how you react, what you say, and also I want to encourage folks to have self-care. That might be taking breaks, taking a pause, not reacting right away, doing yoga, meditation practices, breathing exercises just to calm yourself down, exercising, connecting with someone, a loved one, having coffee so they don't feel alone. Those are within our control. So these are the 5 things that I think led to my burnout, which is number 1, feeling alone. I think a lot of people do feel alone, and please reach out to a friend, a family member. You want to reach out to me, I'm happy to talk to you as well. Number 2 was moving and having a big life change, buying a home that was a stressful event in my life. I want to emphasize the importance of community and how community can really help us feel more connected, which I think as a human being, a lot of people crave. Even as an introvert and extrovert, I think we all want to be part of something. The third one is exercise. Physical exercise is so important to help us relieve our stresses, just help us refresh and feel better. It releases those good feeling hormones. The fourth thing is my internal perfectionism and the fear of failure, where I'm trying to work through, and I hope you are too if you are working through that. And lastly, the perfect storm at my job, where there wasn't a lot of support and not a blueprint of how to deal with what's going on in this world. So I hope if you are burned out that you can heal quickly, and also please don't be hard on yourself. This is a journey. I know for me, me, some days are better than others, and I'm really hoping I can make a connection or make someone feel less alone. Hopefully this helps you, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.